When you picture the Sahara, what pops into your head? I'm guessing it's endless sand, a blazing sun, right? A landscape so empty it feels like you're on another planet. But what if I told you that whole image is, well, not wrong, but just a very, very recent snapshot? Today, we are diving into one of the most incredible puzzles from our planet's past, the Green Sahara Paradox. No, really, just let that sink in for a second. What if the place that is the very definition of a hot, barren wasteland was once the complete opposite? What if it was teeming with life? The difference here is just, it's mind-boggling. On the left, yeah, that's the Sahara we know. Arid, sand dunes, barren. But on the right, that's the Sahara just 6,000 years ago. It was lush. It had massive, widespread lakes, some bigger than you can even imagine. And get this, it was home to hippos and giraffes. It wasn't a desert at all. It was a huge, sprawling savanna. And that is the real mystery, isn't it? We're not talking about some small pond drying up. We are talking about an area the size of the entire United States, basically flipping a switch from a vibrant green ecosystem to one of the driest, harshest places on Earth. How does that even happen? Well, the answer, believe it or not, has almost nothing to do with the Sahara itself. The cause is celestial. It all comes down to a tiny, almost unnoticeable wobble in our planet's rotation as it spins through space. Now, the scientific name for this is axial precession. I know it sounds super complicated, but the idea behind it is actually something you've probably seen 1,000 times. Just think of a spinning top. You know how it doesn't stay perfectly straight up and down? It has that slow, circular wobble to it. Well, our Earth does the exact same thing as it spins on its axis. It completes one full wobble about every 26,000 years. And that slow, tiny change in how we're tilted towards the sun, it changes everything. Okay, so let's follow this amazing chain reaction. How does a planetary wobble create a paradise? First, that wobble changes Earth's tilt, meaning the northern hemisphere gets blasted with way more intense sunlight during the summer. All that extra energy basically supercharges the African monsoon, making it bigger and way more powerful. This monster monsoon then pushes rain hundreds of miles farther north than it does today, and boom, the Sahara gets soaked year after year, creating rivers, lakes, and a sprawling green savanna. It's an incredible cascade, all kicked off by that one tiny wobble. And this wasn't just some brief, weird weather pattern. If you look at the timeline, this Green Sahara period kicked off around 9,000 BC. By 6,000 BC, it was at its absolute peak. We're talking enormous mega lakes and thriving human settlements all over the place. But because that wobble is a cycle, it eventually started shifting back. Around 4,000 BC, the monsoons got weaker, the rains pulled back to the south, and then the collapse began. And here is the part that is just absolutely shocking. How fast that collapse happened. While the whole cycle took thousands of years, new research is showing that some parts of the Sahara flipped from being a lush, wet environment to a barren desert in as little as 200 years. That's a geological blink of an eye. Can you imagine your entire world transforming completely in just a few generations? So, what's the big takeaway here? Why does a story about the ancient Sahara matter to us right now? Well, it's a huge lesson. It proves that seemingly small, predictable changes in the cosmos can have massive continent-altering effects down here on Earth. It reminds us that our planet's climate is naturally dynamic and works in these huge cycles. And maybe most importantly, it's a stark reminder that our planet has these natural tipping points. Understanding these ancient, powerful cycles is absolutely crucial as we try to figure out our own climate future. And that really brings us to the final thought. The story of the Green Sahara is just a humbling reminder of the immense natural forces that are always at play. Forces that can turn a desert into a paradise and a paradise back into a desert, all on their own cosmic schedule. And it forces us to ask a really big question. If a slow, predictable wobble can trigger a transformation that dramatic, what other massive changes are waiting just over a planet's horizon?